it was we yeah, it was established in 2004. So last year was a 20-year anniversary, and we yeah basically we say that the mission is MBA. N means networking, B means bridge, and A means assistant. So N, yeah, networking. So we organize tons of the events, monthly events, and then also a lot of other events like the big events. So we annual events like the 15-year anniversary and the 20-year anniversary we hosted in North Carolina North Carolina Governor's Mansion. And I appreciate James to join us last year for our 20-year anniversary. And in the 15-year anniversary, I was the president at that time. We have the governor, we have the secretary of state, we have 4 senators, 5 mayors, more than 20 government officials, more than 200 entrepreneurs join us. And the reason that they join us was because we recruit so many Chinese business manufacturer to North Carolina to kind of help the North Carolina business. Um, and B means bridge. So we bridge the government, like the sister cities, franchise cities, and then we bridge the founder and the projects. And then also we bridge the Chinese company with the local partners. And A means assistant. So we assist those kind of Chinese company to settle down in America, and also to help find the partners to acquire companies, and from the legal side, from the accounting, and even from the site selection, from this kind of the real estate side. So basically, that's the organization. And currently, I'm the board chair. Like they have executive team to lead it, to do the daily work. So for my experience, that as I mentioned, that the company that we already recruit a lot of the manufacturer to settle down in all over the United States. But for me, mainly in North Carolina, like the Golden Home, that's the largest cabinet manufacturer in the world. And last year, when the owner was here, the North Carolina governor set up a meeting with them. And yesterday, actually, the owner was here to intentionally come to meet me, and then they were trying to set up a industrial park. They want me to help them set up and also recruit tenants for them. And the other example is like the Vision, which is the kind of the largest manufacturer for the switchgear, the transformer, that kind of, as we, everyone knows that right now there's a huge lead time, in America to get these kind of products. And they have offices in more than 60 countries. They have, manufacturers factories in more than 10 countries. And then I help them to set up their headquarters in North Carolina. And another company is called Syntec, which we just helped them landed, in February. And that's the advanced manufacturer, high precision machine, making the high precision machine products. They have more than 20 Fortune 500 companies. And then they have more than 200 companies as their clients. So after I came back from the owner came back with me from China, and then on a flight they signed a big contract with Boeing. So after I know it, I helped them to set up this contract signing ceremony in the North Carolina Governor's Mansion last week. So these are some of the project that we work on. So as James want me to talk about the two events that we host in China. Actually, we in July we host two EDP events in China. One is hosted by the U.S. consulate in Guangzhou, and the EDPNC and our organization is co-hosting. Because this is hosted by the U.S. consulate, then the company come here, join the events, are those kind of big companies eventually 37 companies join us, and then more than 10 public list companies chairman join us. And right now, I think something between 5 to 10 companies are arranging their trip to United States. And because they while they co-host these events, and then for the company that I mentioned, like the Syntech, um, the owner, after they landed here, they also want to set up an industrial park, and then they want me to help them host one event in Shanghai. So in their factory. So that's the reason I asked EDPNC, can we bring the whole team to Shanghai to do a similar event? So that's how we eventually set up another event over there. 35 company join us, and then for them, before I went to China, I helped to recruit two a customer for this company. And meanwhile, because they are making the high precision products for this kind of Fortune 500 companies. So when they purchase the product, they also need some kind of low end product. So I invited 4 of their potential partners to join the event in China, and right now 2 a company may become their partner and then join their industrial park in the United States. So and besides that, we also have the pet manufacturer, pet furniture manufacturer, and pet bag manufacturer. These kind of company are coming to North Carolina, and a lot of other similar company are coming. So basically, the trip to China is very fruitful. And even as I told James, one of my friend in China referred me a client, and even they want to do some 3PL warehouse, and I didn't go there to tour them, and then they already tour by themselves. They just need an agent to help them to write the contract. So we are almost under contract right now. So a lot of good things are happening right now. So hope like to give us some idea, and then hope to work with everyone here together. Thank you.
And
Thank
Daniel,
you,
how
James.
much square footage were you talking about? Because did you say it was 1 million square feet that you're looking for, or bigger?
So, for these particular clients, eventually they are looking for more than 1 million square feet. But the starting stage right now, the first project, 60,000 square feet. Yeah, we are almost under contract right now. And, so for the 3PL warehouse, right now, Amazon has about 1 billion square feet in all over the world. And then eventually, the other company, I'm going to make as 2 billion square feet. So that's a very huge opportunity for this 3PL, or the smart forklift, this kind of company. And that's the reason I invite James to join a big event on September 1st in Los Angeles. Everyone is welcome to join us. So James, I think
Yeah, so if you want to share, because Doug, we'll invite you. This is a supply chain in Costa Mesa. If you want to share, Daniel, really quick, and then we'll open it for some questions and connecting with you. Because I'll tell you, he brought in so much China business in the Carolinas, it adjusted their GDP from the bottom to I think, the second quartile. He brought in that much, he brought in
and
that much business to affect the Carolinas.
no, it's not because of me. Yeah, it's due to so many other
I
efforts. Yeah,
know.
I just did very little contribution. So definitely, I cannot take that kind of credit. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I appreciate. So the event. Basically, it's kind of the supply chain. Event, and then I think it starts from August 30th. And then that one basically, it mainly focus on the investment side. And then starting from day 2, let's on this supply chain, from the technology, from the AI, from the industrial side, from the investment side, all kinds of the. So everyone definitely welcome to join. I can share some of the link regarding that event later on.
Yeah, Daniel, if you could share your information, contact information, links. I do want to connect you to Rick also because of the Taiwan, the TSMC, and a lot of others, but I'll connect on other things we're working on. But any questions for Daniel? I mean, he ran the Chinese Business Association, went to China. I wish I could have went. 20,000 members in their association. Doug, we could definitely figure out how to get Global Chamber involved too. You know, it's pretty big with a lot of and I know Daniel works with the biggest companies in China.
Thank you, James.
Amazing.
Hey, Jim.
Yes, Mark.
How you doing? Yeah, great conversation there. I want to definitely hook up with Daniel because of my connections in China over the years. I'm very enthusiastic to learn more what he's doing because it's a definite bond here, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. Doug, do you have any questions?
I do. I'm curious in terms of kind of the geopolitics right now, how, without getting too much and not at all into any kind of the geopolitics side, but the reality is it's an interesting time, let's say. How is that impacting you, and is there anything that we can do to help?
Okay, thank you so much. That's a great question. And then definitely, yeah, we do need this kind of help. Obviously, from the country wide, the federal level, yeah, right now, yeah, that kind of situation is kind of not life friendly. Yeah, we know right now, yeah, it's not that good. But yeah, the reason that I'm so blessed, and then yeah, it's lucky that I'm in North Carolina. Actually, this time, yeah, these two EDP events in China is the only events, yeah, and then North Carolina is the only state host these kind of events, which means that you can see that, yeah, North Carolina is very friendly to the Chinese companies, and right now to give some idea about some data among the 50 states. From the capital wise, North Carolina ranked number 3 from the Chinese investment. Like just
Wow.
starting from 2000, but from the local, recruit hiring standpoint, North Carolina ranked number 1. Lenovo, yeah, headquarters is in North Carolina, and then a Chinese company acquired a Smithfield. Smithfield has so many employees, so yeah, that one is also in North Carolina. So just give you some idea about that. Yeah.
Doug, I was surprised too. I thought it was California or New York. He said it's the Carolinas, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
Didn't know
the
that.
reason is because the money going to New York or California is they're mainly going to those kind of fund or the high technology, but yeah, coming to North Carolina mainly going to manufacture. So that's the reason manufacture. Yeah, North Carolina is a good place for the manufacturer to land.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, Doug.
That's
Yeah, I had an inquiry yesterday, coincidentally, in North and South Carolina, because of the textiles industry. There's a definite tremendous opportunity, and Daniel's correct. Daniel, I sold my business to the Chinese government 40 years ago, so I'm involved with this, getting people to the table, and I know what you're going through. There's been an explosion after and around the pandemic with the Chinese, enterprise coming into the States here and buying a lot of things up at that time period. And now they're trying to set the stage also. So I think you're on the great path here, Daniel. So like I said, I would like to reach out and see how we can help each other.
Thank you. Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Daniel, if you could put in the event too, and Doug, we'll share it. So the Global Chamber kind of getting involved with this, with anyone in our SoCal that would be interested in smart cities, supply chain. It's pretty interesting. I kind of posted it, but I think it could help if anyone's interested. I know Ellen, who is in Vancouver, and probably because of the time change of the call, she's going to be flying down for this too. And some others are flying in from Mexico because it really interests them from Mexico, Daniel. So a couple friends from Mexico reached out to me, are going to fly up from Mexico to come to this event too.
Thank you so much. Great job. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, no, we'll get the word out. And Jim, is this the first time it's been on? And Jim, have you been to it before?
Not yet. Daniel, can you share more about this event?
Yeah, this is the first time to host this event. Yeah, they host in the the San Francisco area last time, but in LA area this is the first time. Especially LA is the largest port in the world for supply chain. So definitely this is the hotspot over there.
So Doug, maybe any of our import export, our people from our LA group would be very interested in this event.
For sure. Yeah, we have a Global Chamber Los Angeles meeting tomorrow, a virtual one, and so we'll share there for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Daniel, thank you so much, and please put your contact information in. And
I just sent. Yeah, I put there. Yeah, thank you.
He has a lot of business, a lot of opportunities. And next, I'd like to introduce Karen Liu, who actually is an attorney and does a lot of business with China back and forth. So, like you, Lauren, attorneys and probably a couple others. And she wanted to share a presentation on some tips and tricks or some pitfalls, right, of what us U.S. citizens or Americans do. But Karen, I'll let you share your background and your presentation.
Okay, shall I share my presentation directly, or you would like me to introduce myself first?
Introduce your first self first. Oh, actually, you could do it through the presentation, Karen. That's fine.
Okay, then let me just share it. Can everybody see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, sounds great. Hello, everyone. Today, I'd like to share with you some traps and tips when investing and doing business in the US. Before we start, here's a routine disclaimer that what we are discussing today is just for educational purposes only. It doesn't constitute legal advice, nor it constitute any represent any views or opinions of my law firm, Reed Advice, or any of our clients. My name is Karen Liu. As James just mentioned, I'm an attorney, and I'm also an investment advisor, certified compliance professional. I'm now leading the corporate and fund formation practice of my law firm. I attended law schools both in China and also in the US, and I passed the bar exam in New York and also in China. I have some legal experience in the US and also in China. When I was in China, I mostly help clients from Europe and also the US to invest in China. Now I'm in the US, I mostly help domestic clients and also some foreign clients to set up business, set up private funds in the US and also invest in the US. For me, over the years, I think the most rewarding and inspiring thing for me is to see some of my clients become successful from the very beginning, when we help them set up their entities, all the way, some of them have already become unicorns, and some of the hedge fund clients even have already attracted like hundreds of millions of dollars in AUM. The word cloud at the bottom of this page showcases some of the legal matters I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So if you or your company encounters any legal matters, you may think of me and my law firm as one of your resources. So my firm is Reed Advice. We headquarters in New York, and we also have an office in Shanghai. We provide a range of legal services such as transactions, compliance, investment, private fund formation, China-related legal matters, and also litigation, arbitration, immigration, family and trust, and finance and taxation. So today we will discuss some traps and tips. Now, first of all, some traps. At the very beginning, when people are considering setting up a new entity, the first two questions to think about is what is the form of the entity and also in which state to form that entity. in the US, there are different types of forms, legal forms, serving different types of legal business needs. It's always advisable for you to consult your legal counsel and also your tax advisor to make the right choice. I once had a client who made the wrong choices on both grounds. So they later on reached out to us to help them convert their entity into another legal form and also in another jurisdiction. So it was quite time-consuming and costly. There is another trap is for people to think that if I want to start a business in the US, then I have in a state, then I have to set up that entity in the same state. Actually, it's not always the case, because according to the internal affairs doctrine, the law of the state of formation actually governs the internal affairs of an entity. No matter where the entity is operating their businesses. That is one of the reasons why you see currently more than half of US entities were actually set up in Delaware, the most popular state, no matter where their business were actually located. After a company is set up, not each entity is treated equally. Some founders are willing to pay their attorneys to help them prepare the legal documents. Others may want to save some money to DIY those documents themselves, or they may rely on some non-lawyers, such as their registered agents or their accountants may share them some free templates, or they themselves may buy some free templates online, or they may ask AI or ChatGPT to help them draft those documents. Some clients may even just put this aside, or they prepare the documents, but they never sign those documents. Over the years, I have encountered clients facing all those type traps and legal matters. They often reach out to me or our firm when they are in the process of negotiating a deal, for example, mergers and acquisitions, or venture financing, or ask bank loans. Then the outside party asks them to put down their documents in their due diligence process. Then the client asks us to help them clean up those messes. Mostly it will be very complicated and costly, far more costly than if they reach out to us at the very beginning to help them prepare those legal documents. Actually, some of those mistakes are irreversible. That means even we cannot help them correct those mistakes. And some of those mistakes are engineered into their company DNA, and even worse, if someone wants to sue the company, the founders to ask the court to leave the corporate will, that means the founders may face unlimited liability. They can no longer rely on the limited liability shield. So the founders' personal properties may also be at risk. There are also some common traps when people issue stocks to their founders. So if you want to set up a new company with one co-founder, can you issue stocks to each of you, half and half? If you do so, you may find yourself encounter some difficult situations when you want to make some hard choices, because you may face some deadlock decisions. And also, if you can you issue stock on two extreme, that means if, for example, you want to issue 100% stocks to one co-founder, and 99% to another. If you do so, you may also find that the minority founder may leave the company halfway because the incentives, the interests of both of you are not aligned. And if you issue stocks to your co-founders without a vesting schedule, it may also impact your cap table and the future operations of your business if some of the co-founders leave your company a few months later. And if you remember to issue a stock with vesting schedule, but one or more of your co-founders forgot to file the 83B election with the IRS, that co-founder may face higher tax burdens down the road, and your accounting department may have higher burdens of administration later on. Another trap is for people to treat their co-founders and their employees equally when issue stocks. Actually, you can. It's not advisable for you to do so, because your co-founders are expected to go a long way with you, help you develop your company, but your employees may leave your company at any time. That's the reason why you can see most startups actually issue restricted stocks to their co-founders, but issue options to their employees. There are also some common traps in terms of intellectual property protection. So if you have the idea of starting a new business when you are still employed in your existing company, it is important for you to not to use your office hours to do some IP, create some new IP, or use your existing company resources to create some IT contents. Because in most cases, all those products actually belong, the IP will belong to your existing company, not your new company. After the company is set up, some companies also may face some other traps. For example, they may forget to ask their founders to assign IPs to the company, or they forgot to ask their employees or independent contractors to sign IP-related agreements, or ask their service providers to assign IP or at least license IP to the company. All those efforts actually are in purpose of crystallizing the IP to the company itself. So if you fail to do so, that means that your company's IP interests will be impacted. There are also some traps when people are negotiating some strategic deals. For example, when they want to find an outside partner in a M&A deal or venture financing deal, or they want to engage outside service providers, those people may want to see their corporate documents. That means some of their trade secret and intellectual property information may be exposed to outsiders. Some companies just forgot to sign the non-disclosure agreement, the NDA, or if they forget, they remember to sign the NDA but use a template which lacks some of the protected clauses, and the founders cannot read legal documents. They don't know what should be there and what should not. That means some of their IP interests may be disclosed or misused and bring some unnecessary trouble to the company over time. There are also some common traps in terms of employment. Some founders may want to just issue 1099 to the people they hire to save some cost. But just because you issue people 1099, it doesn't mean those people are not employees legally. So misclassification may subject the founders to some lawsuits later on brought by those staff you hear. And sometimes the government agencies may bring about some enforcement actions against the company. There are also some traps for some company. For example, they may forget to pay overtime payments partly because they may not be clear about the distinction between exempt employees and non-exempt employees, or they may have a poorly drafted employee handbook or non-enforceable non-compete clause, or they may leave some traces of discrimination in their daily operations. All those employment-related defects actually may result in serious problems to the companies, because in the US, employment disputes can result in class actions. And you know what? Historically, there were actually startups who went bankruptcy just because some of those employment traps. Just now we mentioned some traps. Now let's discuss some tips. There are some tips in the US if you want to do business in the US or invest in the US. If your company is a small business, it is possible if for your company stock to qualify as a qualified stock, small business stock, QSBS, if your company's gross assets do not exceed $75 million. That means your stockholders may benefit from reduced capital gain taxes if they hold your company stock for 3, 4, 5 years at least. Previously, it was 5 years, but the One Big Beautiful Bill changed the structure into a tiered structure and also built in more benefits in the QSBS program. The U.S. Small Business Administration also provides some incentives. For example, some of my clients applied for the SBA loans because they offer lower interest rate. And the SBA actually provides some training opportunities, certification opportunities, and also mentorship and networking opportunities. They have offices in different states, so you may want to check out their government website and see whether there are any opportunities suitable to you. The SEC actually also has a office of advocate for small business capital formation. They offer some free resources and organize some national events and also provide lobby opportunities for people to bring up policy recommendations. I attended one of those national events earlier this year, and it was very helpful. I met some founders, they shared their successful stories, and we also had opportunity to put forward some policy recommendations directly to SEC officers face to face. If your company is a startup company, naturally you are attracted to the incubators and VCs. So it will be a good idea for you to keep an eye on various events if you see some of those incubators or VCs are present, because you may be able to sell your business ideas to them. They may not be willing to invest in your company if you are still at a very stage before you have already created a MVP, the minimum viable product. But they may be willing to share some resources, tips, and opportunities. All those are very precious, and it may bring many unexpected or expected benefits to your business future development. And some federal and state governments also provide some free resources and incentives. For example, there are some free resources at the website of the SEC, FINRA, and also USPTO. And in New York, there is a special venture innovation venture program. That means the New York State are willing to invest directly to some of the qualified VCs. If your company satisfies their requirements, the New York State may invest in your company from the seed round all the way to the B round. If you are investing in the real estate area or your business in real estate, there are also some special benefits and programs. For example, if your business is located at a qualified opportunity zone, your investors may have some tax benefits if they invest in your company for at least 5 years, and they may defer their capital gain tax, and they may have some further tax benefits if they hold the investment between 10 years and 13 years. The One Big Beautiful Bill introduced more benefits compared to the previous legal provisions. So you may check it out and see whether there's any opportunities out there. That means the QOZ can be a win-win solution both to the investors and also for the business, because the business can attract long-term investment and the investors can benefit from lower taxes. The EB-5 program can also be a win-win solution for both the investors and also the business, because by investing in a EB-5 business, the investors foreign investors may be able to obtain green cards. and the EB5 sponsors may be able to attract lower cost investments, because for those foreign investors, they care more about whether they can obtain those green cards and whether they can get their invested money back, instead of asking for higher preferred returns like the domestic investors do. As we all know that for foreign investors, typically they are not subject to the capital gain tax in the US. However, if they invest in real estate, they are still subject to FOBTA tax. But if you consult your tax advisors, they may be able to help you find some ways to avoid or at least reduce some of the FOBTA tax. For example, your tax advisor may help you set up a leverage broker to take advantage of the portfolio interest exemption, or help you set up a serious partnership structure or a string debt structure to help you save some taxes. If you want to start a cross-border business, actually, there are some ways for you to not only move your business to the US, but also move you yourself and some of your employees in the US as well. Actually, I have a friend who ran a very successful hedge fund business in China before the pandemic. His business was so successful that he was able to got a green card by relying on the EB1A program, the petition. So now his business has already been moved into the US, and his entire family has been immigrated to the US as well. If you are considering relocating your entire business to the US from another jurisdiction, it is also advisable for you to reach out to a tax and estate advisor to help you with trust planning before you become a US tax resident. There are a lot of benefits if you do so, and it is very time sensitive. So we discussed some traps and tips just now. To wrap up, at the end of the day, some people fell into some of those traps because we all have some blind spots. And the thing is, we know where those we don't know where those blind spots are, because we don't know what we don't know. So it is more important for us to find the right experts and ask them to help us out. And likewise, we don't know whether there are still some other tips we don't know. So it's important for us to stay open-minded and always learn some new things, get connected with others. Perhaps it's also one of the reasons why we are getting together today and in the global chambers to learn from each other and share with each other and empower each other. Now come to the end of today's presentation. So if you have some questions, feel free to speak up, or you may reach me out by LinkedIn or email. You may scan the QR code up front. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. And yes, unfortunately, I learned the hard way with some of my clients, and mostly because they wanted to be cheap and save money, right, Lauren? They don't want to pay. But Lauren, maybe you have some questions, because I know you do global international business. And Karen, Lauren is in Canada, but lives in
not.
back and
We
forth,
know
but lives
each
in
other.
Florida.
I am in Florida. I'm Canada. Karen and I know each other for many years, and we had a great call. And she was laughing so much, and I was like, "Why are you laughing so much?" She said, "Because I think what you've built is so cool, and I'm so amazed by it and your creativity." So, yeah, Karen speaks my language. Obviously, we're lawyers, working with a lot of people coming from other countries, and they all do, James, think they know more, right? They want to save a few bucks and cut corners. And, it's funny because ChatGPT, you can go there and draft a petition, but it doesn't mean it's going to get approved. And you have no idea what you're drafting. So it's kind of like, okay, that's great. But what do I do now? So there's a reason we went to law school for all these years, and both of us in 2 countries. And the beauty of working with Karen and myself, for example, is Karen handles the pure legal side, and I handle the strategy and figuring out where and how the client might want to invest. So it's a very nice strategic relationship, and we complement each other a lot. I think we met originally at an EB5 conference, like years and years ago. Yeah.
When EV5 was the hot thing. And then
Uh-huh.
also, Karen, Michael Mara is the OZ expert too. So you guys should con because Karen has all these clients, contacts, relationships. So Karen, welcome to the group. But maybe Mike or Rick, maybe you have any questions because I know Phoenix is kind of that hot topic now for all this Asia money coming in.
I just a comment that's, if you want heart surgery, you don't go to your auto mechanic, right? So, it's one of those old sayings. Go to the specialist.
It's so true. Like it's that thing about the ship. You've heard the thing about the ship building. The guy calls somebody he has a ship and there's a leak in the ship. So he calls like 10 different guys and he pays them, I don't know, $1,000 each. And the ship doesn't get fixed. So the ship is like leaking, pouring out water, about to sink. Finally calls the guy for $10,000. The guy comes in, it takes him 5 minutes. The ship is sealed and it sails successfully. I mean, we're professionals for a reason, right? And it's just unfortunate that too many people realize that all too late. And even in, and I'll just add something else. In the visa space, I think, Karen, you'll agree with me. I know you will, because we talked about this, is that way too many people are just looking to get a visa. They're just like, in the green card, it's a little different because once you get your green card, you're here. But when you get a visa, you're not here permanently. So you can't just find any business that's the cheapest business and get a visa, because then what? What happens to your family? What happens to your livelihood? Like, how do you support your family? What happens if you lose your visa? You have to go back. So it's really much more strategic than just find a business to get a visa, because you have a future to plan and you have to think about those things. And way too many lawyers just think about like, okay, we're going to get you through the finish line. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. So it's important that you look at the holistic picture in the process, because there is much more at stake than just, oh, get me in the door, so.
Completely agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have out here, it's especially with the growth, $165 billion being invested in TSMC, and and then that doesn't include the supply chain, and a lot of people don't understand it. 80% of the capex and jobs are in the supply chain, not in the fab. So I mean, you're talking huge money. So you're going to invariably have a lot of these supply chain folks coming in, and you have a TSMC that wants to work with suppliers that they're familiar with and they understand, and understand how they want things done, right? It's one thing to get there, it's another to know how to operate and facilitate. So even if it's not a green card situation, EB5 or something like that, you still need to have that expertise to set up. And I think when you run into situations like that, it's about changing the narrative, right? It's not a cost, it's an investment, right? And you got to stop seeing it as a P&L statement and seeing it as a way to build capital. So just some thoughts.
Yeah, agreed.
Any questions for Karen? Maybe Daniel, some questions for Karen.
Hey, Karen, nice to meet you. Yeah, I think
Nice to meet you.
yeah, let's work together. Yeah, I think we can work together on a lot of fields. Yeah, good job. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. I learned a lot from you. Thanks.
Thank you. I learned a lot from you. Looking forward to connect with you. Yes.
Sure. Thank you.
So Doug, we got to, like I said, we're trying to get all the big countries. We always talk about the US, and you and I had that discussion, but now it's to, tie in like when we were having discussions with India, now with China, right? Where we can how we can work together. And that's why I love the global chamber, Doug, of how this all works. So maybe you have some questions of how global chamber can kind of tie this all together, since now we're starting to have these big conversations.
Really happy about this conversation, and it ties to our global board for Global Chamber. Dr. Sanjeev Kagram, who's our board chair, was very adamant when we formed this late last year that we will have representation from China on the Global Chamber board. We've split the world up into 8 sections, and basically one of them is China. And so he handpicked our leader on our global board from China, very well connected, Catherine Liu. And we believe that trade everywhere makes sense. And so whatever the geopolitics are, kind of geopolitics be damned to some extent, you have to be aware of it. We have to support each other through it. At the end of the day, what happens, Jim, as you've said so many times, business is between people. It's not between countries. Maybe you haven't said that exactly, but that's certainly what I take from you. You travel the world, you know so many people, you're so personable and you connect everywhere. And I've never seen from you any sense of, you're from this country and so you get labeled, good or bad. That's, we judge people or should judge people just based on how they behave professionally. And so thank you so much for this conversation. And we look forward to working with you and finding ways to support both of your success. Jim, just as a time check, we do have another Globinar after this one. And so we do need to wrap this up at the 55 mark. So we have about 5 minutes left. And so I turn it back to you to give us some advice about how we should spend that 5 minutes wisely.
Well, how about the new guests that we haven't seen before? So Doug, you know some people that we haven't seen, but Karen and Daniel, thank you so much. And I'm glad, please reach out to them. But Doug, maybe introduce some new guests as we're building our family and our real estate community. If you want to call in some new people you've seen.
So, well, one person I do want to call out is Anita Rodell. She's not a new person, but she's an amazing person.
Yes.
And I know, Anita, probably you have some comments. You already do work with China already, I'll bet.
So I have clients that do business with China, but in terms of currency exchange, most of those payments are made in US dollars. So there's no currency exchange business there. But if they're doing inventory, if they're paying for inventory, and they're looking for inventory financing, yes, we can definitely work with them. This is all, I mean, every country is always evolving. Maybe you saw the chat going back and forth between Lauren and I. New administrations come in, they make all sorts of changes. So,
oh my God, that's an understatement.
I know it's insane. It's just killing me. I kept trying to tell people, at the beginning of the year, let's get it done now. Let's get it down now.
Nobody
And
listens. They don't
they sat
listen.
on it.
They don't listen. Somebody
Yeah, and I
said
have
to me
like at least
before, how is it like today? How is it being, and Karen, you can relate to this. How is it being an immigration lawyer today? And I'm like, it's like literally like the gold rush. Like we don't know what the hell is going to happen from 1 minute to the next. Like, okay, Wild West, let's go. Let's see.
it's crazy. And just for next week, I will be one of the speakers talking about currency exchange. So hopefully you can join us next week, same time, same place. And then the day after that, I have my Global Chamber Export Import Forum at noon Pacific time, and my interviewee will be Demetris Evans. She is a trade attorney, but we're going to talk about contracts and how they can make your life wonderful or how they can make your life miserable.
Lauren, what's going on in your world? Anything we should know about?
Well, actually, it's kind of neat. Thank you for asking me, Doug. So I launched a new business. I don't know how many of you know about this, but I launched a new business as a fractional C-suite service provider with a partner. And I really didn't know what to expect. And we already have like 4 clients in 4 days. So it's kind of crazy because I think the value of having seasoned professionals at your fingertips for a fraction of what you would pay to bring them on board full time is like, I underestimated the value of it. So it's really cool. And the neat thing is, Karen, as you were talking, and also, I think it was Fred who was talking about like when companies come into the US, that's lovely, but like they know how to do business in Israel or Canada or China or wherever it is. They don't know how to do business in the US. And I have one of our clients he was not an immigration client. He's from Colombia, and he has a very interesting business in the bee rescue space. And he's building a second business that complements that. But he doesn't know how to run a business in the US. So this is like, it's really great because it creates that global footprint that customers or that businesses need to be able to scale today, right? So Thank you for asking. I'm really excited about it. It's kind of like taking its own a life of its own.
Beautiful.
And Doug, a quick thing. So because the youth are our future, and I know Dylan's on here, probably the youngest one out of it. Usually we always say the oldest one, but if you don't mind giving him a chance, because he wants to, as we're building a young professionals group for everyone, our kids and grandkids now, right? To network and build each other together and then learn our real estate industry. If you don't mind giving him a couple minutes.
Yeah, that would be great. Dylan, are you there? And we only have actually, so if that's okay.
1 minute.
Yeah, so on this Monday, coming up August 25th, at 7 a.m. Pacific time, so I know it's like a weird time. We're having a Renaissance Global's young professional group, and basically we're trying to get the early professionals for commercial real estate to mentor, connect, and build their education for real estate so that they know how to do deals and stuff. And coming up, we have special guest speakers Michael Simpson, Blair Gilbert, and Rich Enderlin, who will be doing like a panel form of discussion with like a Q&A. So if anyone knows anyone who would be interested, please get them in contact with me. And
Thank you, Dylan.
yeah.
Yeah, anyone in the 20s. So that's a lot. Yeah, we're all past it by many, many times. So thank you, Dylan, for leading it.
Thank you.
James, do you have any final comments that you'd like?
I just want to say, love our community we're building, invite more people. We want to see Anita. Anita did a great job for us too. So looking forward to seeing more tips and tricks with currency and everything else. So I just appreciate everyone, but thank you so much.
Thanks for all that you do. My name's Doug Brunke. I'm the founder and CEO of Global Chamber, and I love Jim Huang. He's amazing, and it's too bad that Ellen isn't here, but I think it's because of the time zone, right? Or time
change. It's the time change.
Okay, is it she has a conflict at this time?
Yes. Yeah.
Great. So they're a dynamic duo. They keep us grounded on what's important, and that is let's do business. Let's do deals. Let's focus in on what we can do to impact the world, which is deals and behavior that mirrors the kind of behavior we want to see in the future for our children and our grandchildren. So, Jim, thank you for being such a great father for your daughter, Leah, right?
Leah, yes.
She's an amazing young lady, and I'm sure she'll grow up to be an amazing young woman and a great contributor to society. The next Globinar for Global Chamber happens to start in 3 minutes, and it's talking about Dylan and young people. The program is our monthly book series, book author series. So if you're either writing a book or thinking about it, or you've already written a book, we do once a month, we talk to book authors and ask them about their story. And this one happens to be a book about life lessons that shape our lives. And I don't know who the author is, but it's someone extraordinary, just like all of you for attending today. See you next Wednesday, or see you in the call in a moment. Tomorrow, Global Chamber Los Angeles is talking about the Olympics and how you can be involved. So if that, or exporting, or manufacturing, or just doing global business and interacting globally interests you, please be involved. Thanks, Jim. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Arigato gozaimashita.